Hello, friend. This is Jimmy. We're back again. Sorry for the delay before. There was some glitch, some technical problem with the internet. So now you guys can join and can start typing your questions regarding Canadian immigration, and I will be happy to help you or answer all those questions. So welcome back to all of you. This is Jimmy from Can Have an Immigration Canada. So we're just answering some of the questions before, and then we got disconnected. And it took me another 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes to join you guys back. So if you have any questions now, you can start typing your questions and I'll be happy to help you with that. Try to answer them one by one. Again, we were talking before when we got disconnected, we were talking about the formation for the yesterday's express entry draw. This draw was only targeted for the PNP candidates in Canada. Any candidate who has a PNP approval with additional 600 points, those were the only candidates who got invited into this draw. The total number of invitations that were in this draw were 668, and the minimum CRS score was 720. So anybody who got a score of 720 or above, they got the invitation yesterday, but only 668 candidates, they were in the pool on March the 19th. They got those invitations. So as I put up a video before, like about the CRS score probability that was coming true, right? I was telling you guys if there'll be less and less draws in government want to select candidate only out of these ones. As you guys know, the IELTS testing has been stopped due to the coronavirus. So only few candidates are coming into the pool right now. Because if you won't be able to get your IELTS score, you won't be able to enter into the pool, and inventory will remain same. The If the government is doing less and less draws, then it'll be very unlikely that the score will go down. As this time we have seen a jump of almost 300 points in the CRS score for express entry. So now another detail was if you are a Canadian PR or a citizen, you can come back to Canada, or if you are an immediate family member of Canadian permanent resident or a Canadian citizen, you are allowed to come back to Canada to join with your family members. But any other visas, uh, you probably been stopped from entering to Canada. It all depends upon the visa officer. So as of yesterday, we got the news that if you are a new permanent resident who have never been to Canada before, but you got your PR and have been approved or the visa has been stamped before the March 18th, and before that, if you are on a study permit and you have been granted a visa before March 18th, before these new restrictions came into, you are still eligible to come to Canada. But I will be suggesting you guys to make sure you check with your colleges or university whether they are open or no. If they are not open, there is no fun to coming here in Canada, and then you're going for 2 weeks into self isolation. After that, you have to find your accommodation and all other stuff. You can't even meet your friends and family, so you have to be self isolate yourself. So that's a just a suggestion for you guys if you're planning to come in these weeks or days, because most of the flights have been canceled. Major airlines have stopping their operations because if there are only uh, few people on that flight, so they probably don't even fly. So they can cancel at the last minute. So make sure you guys also check with your universities or your schools, colleges, whether they are open or no. Mostly the secondary schools are all closed right now till further notice. Some of the provinces have done their closure till September of this year. So it's better to make sure before even you buy your ticket that whether there is a possibility for you guys to land somewhere and then get any help over there. So there was a little update from the government. Again, if you are a permanent resident, first time visiting to Canada, and again, make sure you check with the provider of your airlines whether they have canceled it or they have postponed your. So it's better to postpone your tour because if you're coming with your family and small kids, it'll be really difficult for you guys to go for 2 week isolation, and after that you'll be getting out to look for because most of the businesses are also closing. So it'll be very hard for you guys to get into the market and start finding a job, or a job search will also be difficult at this moment. So again, if you guys have any particular question about your situation, you can type it and I'll be happy to help you with that, answer your questions. Sorry, I was joined with you guys like a half an hour ago, and after that there was a technical problem, so we got disconnected, and we're back again now. So anybody who has any questions about Canadian immigration, about the current situation, can type it. I'll be happy to help you with that. Again, majority of the provincial nominations have been postponed or delayed at least for a month right now. But as you guys all know, the current situation is not, nobody can give you exact timeline when will the things will open and start flowing smoothly. Uh, so this will be just a guessing work with everybody. Again, if you look at the US and Canada border, they have been also closed since this morning, and only the trade will be allowed to go into US and come into Canada. Other than that, every other travel has been cancelled. You won't be allowed to enter US, or if any US citizen want to come back to Canada for any leisure travel, they are also being stopped. So again, this is a problem if you are, even if you are on a work visa and you are in the trucking industry taking the trade or the stuff from one country to another, you will still be allowed. All the truck drivers who are on a work permit, they have been considered into the essential uh, for the trade. So those are the only categories that have been allowed. If you're a Canadian and you've been stuck in the US, you want to come back to the country, to your home country, yes, you will be allowed to enter. Other than that, nobody else. If you're coming for a leisure travel, mm, visiting your family and friends, then you won't be allowed. So make sure when you're planning your trip, consider all those things. It's not only from US to Canada or from Canada to US. Even all other countries have done lot of restriction. Again, if you're going from Canada to other country, make sure you check the advisory on those consulate websites. What are their rules and regulation at this moment? So don't want you to guys be stuck anywhere around the globe with your family, with your kids. So then it'll be really hard for you guys to get back where you got started. So at this moment, wherever you are, stay there. If you need an extension of your visas, let's say you are in Canada and your visa going to expire in a week or so, you need an extension. These circumstances, the government is considering your option. You can send your applications online, offline with the paper applications. You will be granted extension on this current crisis. But other than that, do not put your travel, your family health in jeopardy and risk all of them. So, again, if you have any question related to your particular situation, you can type it here on the right, and I'll be able to answer according to the information I have it at this moment. Again, there are not many updates from the Canadian immigration department. As we all know, there was only one draw that happened yesterday. The CRS score yesterday went to 720. So this is Ankur. So there is an answer for your question. So uh, as you can check my video that I posted yesterday on my YouTube channel about the CRS score, I give you all the scenarios in there. So there are two scenarios I gave you. It could go up or it could go down depending upon the number of draws the government is doing. Let's say at this moment government is doing back-to-back draws, then surely we will see the score coming down. But the strategy they have chosen yesterday, only those candidates were invited. They have a PNP from their respective province. So only 668 candidates got selected yesterday with the CRS score jumped to 720. So you guys can expect this because at this moment everything is unexpected right now. What's going to happen in whatever country? You guys have seen the conditions in Italy right now. US, the cases are exploding right now. Canada cases have gone more than 1,200 at this moment, present condition according to tonight's reports. So nobody knows what's going to happen, what the future holds for all of us in the coming days or weeks or months even. So most of the schools here in Canada, the secondary school, middle schools, they're all shut down till September. So if you're coming to Canada on your study permit, make sure you check with your university before coming here. Otherwise, it could be a problem for you to where to live, where to find a work, because most of the businesses are closing temporarily, so they are laying off uh, their employees. So it will be really hard for all of us who are living here and the new immigrants who are coming to find a work even. So Rishi Karamwala, I have 2 year work permit. Can I put dependent visa? My wife, open my younger son, will be 5 months time. Yes, you can. Even you could have done it at the time when you got your work permit. You can apply it right now, but there is the timeline. There is no guarantee right now because we have seen the news that they are also recalling the staff from the embassies overseas right now. So if the condition will be getting worsened in those countries and they are calling their staff back, then the backlog will be more and the work permit application for dependent visa for your wife, it will take longer time. And again, it will be very hard for them to enter Canada. Most of the restriction at this moment, only the permanent residents or the study permit holder, they have got their files or the passport stamp before March 18th. Those are the only ones who are allowed to come to Canada at this moment. Otherwise, nobody else is getting. Yes, you can send your application, and hopefully by the time the application will come positive, and then they will be able to enter into Canada. If you need any kind of help, you can contact us on the email given above or the phone number given above, and we can help you with your applications too. Yeah. So anybody else has any other question regarding Canadian immigration, you can put it on the right. and I will try to answer them. So again, as I was explaining that the more precaution you guys will be taking, checking all the websites, the consulate websites, where what are the conditions they have applied, which kind of visas or passports being allowed into any country. So make sure before you start traveling, you should know all of them. Do not get stuck anywhere with your family and the kids, then it'll be hard for you to even come back. This moment, the best advice is stay wherever you are. If you are feeling any kind of symptoms, isolate yourself, take advice from the medical professionals or your health professional. That's the good way to tackle this situation right now. If you guys have any other question, you can type it. So in the previous chat, there were people were asking about the study permit and when they can travel. So again, I would like to suggest all the students who are coming. uh, Next question is Mudassar. Some YouTubers say that we may get lesser than minimum wage in many provinces. Is it true that we may get lesser than $14? Uh, Legally, nobody can give you less than a minimum wage. And if you are coming on a LMIA or work permit, the wages are different for the international or the temporary foreign workers. So make sure whatever has been written in your contract, job contract, the employer has to give you that. But current circumstances are like this. In this situation, there are even mostly all of the mm, businesses are closing or shutting down temporarily, and they are giving layoff to their employees. So in this situation, I cannot say whether you will even have a job at this moment, but under the regular circumstances, if economy is working on its normal and you have your job, you come here as a temporary foreign worker, nobody can give you less than the minimum wage. But if you're a temporary foreign worker, your wages are always higher than the minimum wage. So legally, nobody can give you. You can even complain to your provincial uh, human rights commission, so they can look into that matter and get you all the money the employer is holding from you. But it all depends on you guys, temporary foreign worker. I always encourage you guys to speak up and complain about all those employers who take undue benefit from you. When they have signed a contract, job contract, they cannot back off from that one. So there is nothing like that. I have helped so many temporary foreign workers when they're coming here. The employer is not giving them the regular wages. We have helped them to go even to the court and get all the money they were entitled to, at least their salary that has been written in the job contract. The the YouTubers, what they were saying, there was another scenario when at this moment when there are no businesses are open, hardly, like if you go into a city of a million plus and there are 100% of the businesses, out of that maybe 20% of them are open, the ones they are with the essential commodities. Other than that, mostly the restaurants and all those businesses are shutting down because of the virus at this moment. So they cannot spread it further to any other candidates. That's the only reason at this moment, whatever they have it, they are getting it. But the example I gave you before, that was in the regular or perfect economy when When we didn't have the coronavirus situation and other things, at this moment there are millions and millions of getting layoff. If you have any other questions, you can type it. I will try to explain it according to both the scenarios, current scenario before, but the after scenario, nobody knows when it's going to be easy or when it's going to be smooth, when we'll be able to get back to normalcy. At this moment, we're expecting 2 to 3 weeks, 4 weeks, but government has expecting more, even more, like they are expecting months and months to come before it'll even start getting normal. Uh, Kamaljeet Sandhu, master degree with experience, 9 year IT. Spouse of 5 year teaching experience, child 3 year old. No IELTS score as of now. What can I do to apply Canada PR? Sir, without IELTS, there is no option for you. You have to have an IELTS done. Once you get your IELTS done, even you guys know to be eligible in Express Entry, you have to have minimum 6 bands each. So again, it all depends upon your IELTS score. Then we'll be able to tell you. But for IT, the last draw in Alberta, they have selected IT professionals in Alberta. Before that, Ontario does it. And if we look at Saskatchewan, yes, they did IT. In Saskatchewan, you have to have a licensing with your profile to get accepted into SINP. So these are the few options with IT. Even your spouse, if they have a teaching degree with their teaching experience, they could be eligible under some other different programs. So that we can also talk about. If you want more information, we can chat on one-to-one personal basis and can help you with your application to apply for that. But again, there are few provinces, there are teaching criteria are still open and they are getting the teachers. If you're from India, the B.Ed degree, yes, they would be eligible. But again, you have to have a minimum 6 band in each IELTS, then you will be eligible for that. Uh, Mudassar, sorry about that. We got disconnected that time. There was some issue on my side. So again, yes, let's come back to your question. Normally, for the provincial nomination program, if we look at the British Columbia has different programs for the PNP. Their rough average is 1.5 year to get a PNP. If you are under the tech pilot program, yes, that is a little faster. Could be 8 months, could be a year. That one. If we look at Alberta PNP, that is happening in 3 to 4 months. And SINP again, if you qualify for the program, you could be get into the next draw. But again, their minimum score, cutoff score is 69. And I am afraid at this moment, the situation, if they're holding next draw, it will be 70 plus, won't get lower. So same thing with Ontario, roughly around a year or more for the PNP. Manitoba, same. And Nova Scotia is little less than a year right now. PEI also less than a year, between 6 to 8 months. And after you got your PNP federal entry program, there are two things. If you eligible for express entry and you got a PNP, that is pretty quick, 6 months maximum. Once you send your complete application, if you send a paper application, that might take a year. So there are so many criteria, so many ways to be eligible, and the timeline is all different for all these provinces. And again, all the other uh, criteria along with the federal entry program. Do we both require 766 band for me and my wife? Uh, Sir, if Kamaljeet, if you are being the principal applicant, you have to have the maximum score. Your wife's score, yes, it does matter, but there is a no minimum for her. If she want to be a dependent on your application, yes. If she want to be the main applicant, then for sure she has to have a maximum score. Then your score will help her to get some extra points, but it does not matter. So both ways, if you want to be a principal applicant, you go for the best in your IELTS. If your wife wants to be, then she has to work hard on her IELTS. At least get 6, 6, 6, 6 in each or more. That will help you. Again, if you get next question is from Abu Darbala. So if sorry if I'm not taking your name correctly. Hello sir, my peer visa is going to expire. My country is closed. I cannot travel to Canada for the landing. What do you suggest? What do you think Immigration Canada will accommodate us? Yes, sir. They are going to accommodate you no matter what the reason is. At this current situation, they are going to accommodate each and every candidate in your situation. My recommendation is only for you to send a detailed email to the visa office where you get your passport stamp. You can go to cic.gc.ca. You can find their email address. Write them the complete email with your UCI number and file number, your name. Send also a scan shot of your visa copy and ask them and tell them this is the current situation. I'm in this country. No flights are going, and so they can also send you a confirmation that they have received your request and they will work on your case and they will help you once the conditions will become normal. I just want to let you know, guys, if your visa has been stamped before March 18th, if you are on a PR visa or you are on study permit, government Canada has changed this rule yesterday that you can land anytime in Canada and you will be allowed to enter in Canada. On the other hand, my advice is for you guys, whichever country you guys are coming from, if you are coming to Canada, you have to self isolate yourself for 2 weeks. So I suggest do not put your life and your loved ones, like your family, your kids and your wife's life in jeopardy just to land here in this situation. My suggestion is send them an email, tell them I'm in this country, these are the situation. None of the airline is helping at this moment, so we need an extension. They are surely giving you an extension for that. But make sure you do not wait till the last day of your visa. Send them this email right away. Wave of Korea. Yes, I'm confused about NOC selection. I have 7 year experience in hospitality sector as a shift manager in my home country. Right now, I'm in South Korea working as a production worker. So, uh, in my suggestion is from last 10 year, whatever you have done for your 7 year experience in hospitality as a shift manager, you have to get that no code while you are in South Korea, you have to get your production worker no code. So both of them will be in your application because you will be putting your 7 year experience as a one experience because you can have multiple experience. They always ask you in last 10 year how many years of experience. You have to provide detail from this state to this state to this year to this year. You are working as a like ABC manager, and then from another 2 year or 3 year you're working in XYZ manager. So, but your primary no code because you if you will be having more than 1 year of work experience in each of them, then you're good. Then you have to show both of them. So do not get confused about the NOC selection. both of your no codes will be there in your application. Thank you, Mr. Kamaljeet, and thank you, Abu. Uh, so, Mudassar, I just explained for this the same question for Wave of Korea. Yes, you can apply with the different NOC if you're eligible for more than one profession. Again, they are always ask you like when did you work in which NOC code. So you have to provide that detail anyways. So let's say you have a bachelor's degree in teaching and you have done 5 years in teaching, and then year 2 years you have worked as a manager. Let's say you are working in a company who provide the things for like schools and other areas, education institution. So administrator. So you can put both of these no codes, but they will pay more consideration to your teaching knock because you will have a degree in Bachelor of Education. Then that's how the no codes got selected. So yes, you can definitely apply with the two no codes in one of those in one of your application. Abhishek Bharat Kumar Shah, I want to get PR visa, so suggest me from Dubai. It's fast process than applying from India. Sir, for PR visa, you can apply from anywhere. If you are under express entry, it doesn't even matter which country you're applying from. This is one of the fastest process. We have it right now. The only thing is what is your CRS score? So now you need to work on that score because yesterday's CRS score was 720 roughly. Normally is hovering around 465 to 475. So now you have to check that from India or Dubai. It doesn't matter. The only thing it will take more time when you're applying from Dubai, your police clearance will take longer time to get your background check by the CIC. But again, if you are living in Dubai, you have to apply, you have to supply that police clearance anyways. So it will take a little longer if you have lived in Dubai for more than 6 months. Yes. Abhishek, how much time it take to apply PR through EIPP or RNIP? Abhishek, it all depends upon if you have a job offer. The work permit in under AIPP took two to 2.5 months to get application done. And after you are here in Canada, then we have to check your eligibility for PR. Otherwise, most of the candidates get eligible after 1 year. But if you have good experience back home, you would be eligible before that also. IELTS score, if you are coming under work permit, it doesn't even matter to have IELTS score, but even with the 5 band in each, it'll be okay for you. But once you're getting into federal program for express entry, minimum score is 6 each, then you will be eligible for that. But there are some of those PNP program like Alberta is 4.5 right now. Next year is going to be changed, but for 2020 is 4.5. Chandrakant, dear sir, I am preparing to send document for Quebec teaching permit program for outside Canada in current situation of Corona. Is it fine to send? Yes, you can send your document. Nothing has been closed, but everything has been delayed. As I mentioned before, it's taking longer than normal because most of those offices are closed. If they are not closed, the employees who are working, they are working remotely from their house, and if they need a more manpower at this time, the manpower is in shortage here in Canada right now because of the coronavirus situation. So you must take into consideration all these factors. Education ministries have been closed, schools have been closed indefinitely here in Canada at this moment, most of the provinces. So it will definitely take a time right now. Again, at this time in Canada, when We are looking for the teaching permit, even from inside Canada. There is a huge rush because uh, in September there is a new session starting, and these are the months when lot of new teachers apply, those who are inside Canada. So do expect delay, and because of coronavirus, you will be expecting more delays. But it's fine to send your application. Yes, it won't be accepted right away. It won't be looked after right away, but then you will be in the line. So my suggestion is you can send your application right away, no problem. Fernando, Fimando, hello, you can type your message. I will like to answer you. Next question is Raj M. I said, when will be getting normal situation in Canada for regular peer immigration? Sir, there is a no answer right now for this, and nobody can give you answer to this because government, even not only the government, everybody is expecting right now it'll be few months before it gets normal. Even when we'll be getting out of the coronavirus situation, economy is going to be very bad. So at this moment, there is no expectation for that one, but the government is still accepting the permanent resident application. So yes, it is delayed. It will be delayed for at least 6 to 8 months. I'm saying, I'm not saying it'll be stopped completely, but it will be a slow process right now because the manpower is getting shorter and shorter day by day. So you guys have seen from last 2 weeks, Canada is seeing a lot of coronavirus cases, and most of the machinery has been diverted into that way to help with this epidemic right now and pandemic. But other than that, most of the government or their main concentration is to curb this pandemic, not on the PR or any other one. Yes, they are putting few resources on the permanent residence application, all other visas like the uh, visas, they are in the main priority, huge uh, risk category kind of stuff, diplomatic visas, study permits, and all that stuff. But it will take a lot of time right now. The situation we are all in whichever country you guys are in or we are in, everybody is in the same boat right now. Mahesh Nawara, I'm a BC. I'm in BC. My work permit spent December 2022 years. Possible. Sir, work permit renewals are not like that. You have to have a LMIA for that, or you could have applied for a PNP. You get a PNP before that, then you can apply for bridging work permit. Other than that, there is no other way. Mudassar, can you make a video on teaching and associated links in the? Yes, I will try to do it in coming weeks. Give me another week or so. I will definitely put it, make a video on teaching and other associated links in. Mostly, I will try to cover most of the provinces in that, and we'll give you the links for that. But if you need help, you can send us your resume on the email address given above. I can help you with that with your file. Then you guys can type messages. If you have any other question, we'll love to answer that. So as of now, I'm looking on my other screen that the India has also imposed the day curfew for today. Stay home. Yes, uh, listen to your health authorities. Listen to your government. They are doing whatever they are doing. They are doing betterment for you. So if they are asking you guys to stay at home for a day, yes, do follow those instructions. You unless and until it's very urgent for you to get out of and uh, do some shopping or anything, stay at home, right? This is the only way we can spread the contamination with each other, make the safe distancing, social distancing with everyone. So, this is the only way we can uh, come victorious and help each other by not spreading germs everywhere. Uh, Fernando, I have 5 year ban to Canada because I applied for work permit through an agent. The letter they sent said I can reapply, but lawyer said not possible. Uh, Without looking at your letter, I won't be able to comment on your because you said you have a 5 year ban, but letter said that you can reapply. So you can send me your letter on the email I given you. Then I'll go through your letter. Only then I'll be able to tell you the right answer. Because if it says you can reapply, it doesn't mean that you have a ban on yourself. They might have rejected your case, but I can only tell you after looking at your letter. So please send me your letter, then I'll be able to guide you better. Otherwise, I'll be just a guessing game that I don't want to give you the wrong answer right now. Just Manveer Kaur, I'm Indian physiotherapist. Can I have another option without express entry like PNP, AIPP? AIPP, RNIP. They do not need professionals like you. This is for sure. I don't want to dishearten you, but this is the reality. All these programs like AIPP, RNIP, these are for the low skilled categories. You are a physiotherapist, you are a highly skilled worker. So the only option for you is the express entry because all these fields, physiotherapists, if you are a nurse, all these occupations have been controlled by the government. And in the government sector, it's very hard to find a work permit or an LMIA because you need to have your licensing here. None of the doctor's office or any other physiotherapy office will be able to give you the LMIA or work permit option. So PNP, I have seen once in Nova Scotia because Nova Scotia is the only one right now. They are giving invitations to the medical professionals, so you can apply over there. But again, you have to apply through the express entry for Nova Scotia with a good IELTS score. Last time they have CLB level 9 and above. Abhishek, when will start back embassy work for visit visa? Sir, visit visa are still going. Even we are applying for candidate. We applied last week or 2 weeks ago, couple of cases. They got approved right now. So the work is going on. I'm just saying they are getting delayed. Some cases, some countries, they are getting delayed, but they have mm, they did not stop the work in the embassies. If there were 5 visa officers before, now there could be three or two, but the work is still going on. It's all up to you. You can still send your online application, paper application. They are still working on it. Again, if you have if you have a if you want to apply for that, you can send us an application. We can help you with that. So, or you can apply on your own. That won't be a problem. But work is still going on. I just got some visas approved yesterday for spousal work permit and all those stuff. So there is the work hasn't been stopped. Yes, it's been slowed down. There are some restriction who can come to Canada right now, who cannot. Yes, it's because of the current situation. You guys are all aware of, but there is no stoppage in that. What are my options? My wife is a Canadian citizen. Uh, Georgeson, you have very good option. That's if your wife is a Canadian citizen, the spousal sponsorship is the one of the best option for you. But I want to see the letter. what was the problem, why they have given. Once you send me a letter, then we can schedule a phone call with you, and then we'll be able to help you with that. But if your wife is a Canadian citizen, it's a simple case for spousal sponsorship. We have helped thousands of our clients with the Canadian citizenship or with the Canadian PR when their spouse is a Canadian citizen. It's a really easy process. Yes, you do need to supply us with all your documents, but it is straightforward case. But I just want to go through your letter first. Why they have given you 5 year ban, and why did you apply for work permit when your wife is a Canadian citizen? It's for me at this moment it doesn't make any sense. The things you told me. So that's why I'm asking you to send me an email with a copy of your letter. I'll go through that and we'll be able to help you with that. If I come there through visit visa to work permit and work there for 2 years, is it to get PR? Yes, it is very easy to get PR once you are here on work permit, but do get suggestion from a lawyer or a consultant who are working in the industry from long time, so they can guide you better. Not like you come here, work for 1.5 year, in the last 3 months or 4 months. Oh, now I need to get my PR. Now I'll be looking for some suggestion. In that case, it won't work for you. Make sure you come here, you get a guidance from a lawyer or a consultant, then you go through that route. So we always suggest our clients who come through us with the work permit, the day one they come here, we tell them the clear pathway. That's how they will be able to achieve the PR. So you go through that. Once, let's say, they are in the province where it take 1 year for them to apply for PR or the PNP. The day their 1 year is done, we send their application. We do not wait till the end moment. Once your application is in, then there are so many other ways to extend it. But if you do not have any application in, then it won't be it won't be happening. So I get so many phone calls at the very last moment. Oh, I have a 1 month work permit left or LMIA left. What should I do? Yes, you can go back to your country. That's the only option to stay legal. Or if you do not go, then you'll be illegal. So all that thing work. Yes, it's very easy to get a PR once you're here on work permit. But make sure you are on the right path with the right guidance. Thank you, Jasmanveer. रमेश, सर क्यूबेक में पीएनपी विदाउट पॉइंट्स है. सर क्यूबेक की जो पीएनपी है, विच इज टोटली डिफरेंट. सो दे हैव देयर ओन system under ARIMA. So you have to go through my videos about Quebec that has all the detail about that. But again, they have certain preferences. They they have their own system. Like, yes, they do calculate your point. They do give preference to certain conditions, whether you are working in Quebec, whether you are there on what kind of work permit you have, which category of work permit you have, whether you have studies in Quebec. So those there are few conditions they have different than the rest of Canada. Jasmine, can I apply for Quebec? I'm Indian physics. Yes, you can apply. You have to calculate your score, and there are so many other conditions they have. Once you apply for PR in Quebec, you can go through ARIMA portal and you can select your points over there, and then you will be able to see whether you are eligible or not. Abhishek, what skills are included under RNIP and AAP? Skills are your skills. They do not include any skills. They are always mostly RNIP, APP programs. They need skilled trade people. Like if you are a supervisor in a fast food restaurant or a cafe in your country, you're a carpenter, you're a plumber, you're an electrician. Those kind of things are most popular in RNIP and AAPP program. If you're a skilled category, this is not for you. Anybody can apply. It all depends again. Last time I have seen they need dental surgeons, they need nurses also, they need accountants in AAPP program. They had certain job fairs in Europe. They have job fairs in South America as well as in Mexico and other countries. So all the time the things have been changing. It all depends upon what the employers need in those provinces. If those employers are not getting enough candidates, yes, they definitely go out of the way to hire some other professionals also. Like in February, they did dental surgeons and all the other stuff. ADT. Hello, sir. IELTS CLB 1039. I'm physiotherapist. Expressing I'm solo applicant or should I apply through PN? You have to apply through Express Entry because there is no direct PNP for physiotherapists. Only the way for you without licensing, you have to apply through Express Entry. If you want to go through PNP, they will ask you for the licensing first. That will be a long route for you. Even to clear those exams and to get the licensing will take at least a year and a half. So it's better you go through Express Entry. Yeah. Thanks, Jasmanveer. Okay. If anybody else has any other question, you can type it. Otherwise, we will wrap up this session at this moment and we'll try to come back later on next week or so. I'll just wait for a couple more minutes. If you guys have any other question, you can type it now. Once I get job through Dubai job fair for Canada, is it easy for moving Canada through? Yes, sir. It'll be really easy. Once you have a job, yeah, just apply for work permit and it'll be done. You can type any other questions you have it. I would like to thank all of you who joined today in this session and would love to come back again with the answer for your questions, whatever questions you will have next time. I will love to answer those. At this moment, Sir, I have given, Abhishek, I have given my email address, the website address on the contact us. You can find our Canada address. So phone number also. I've given my phone number as starting of this chat also. So I would like to say you guys all have a safe travel. If you're traveling somewhere, I would suggest, from my personal suggestion, is stay wherever you are. Do not try to go outside until and unless it's urgent. So try to be safe. Try to limit the spread of the virus so we can get back normal really soon. But again, this will take time. So do not lose the hope. Stay positive. Help each other. Help your neighbors. Help elderlies. Help your kids. Help your family and friends. And we'll come out of this situation very soon. Thank you very much for all of you who joined today. We'll see you soon. Thank you.